Some SUVs just exist. And then there are the ones that quietly build a legacy. The ones that survive neglect, survive bad roads, survive long commutes, and keep running as if they have something to prove. And in 2025, a handful of SUVs finally cemented their status as truly bulletproof. These weren't vehicles that merely tested well or were good for their class. These were the SUVs that owners trusted with road trips, family duties, off-road adventures, and late-night emergencies, because they showed year after year that reliability isn't a feature, it's a character trait. Today we're counting down the 9 SUVs that proved they were bulletproof in 2025. The ultra-reliable picks that mechanics praise, owners brag about, and used car shoppers chase before someone else buys them first. Because here's the real value of a list like this. When you buy one of these SUVs, you're not just buying transportation, you're buying time, peace of mind, predictability. And in a world where parts are expensive, labor is slow, and modern vehicles are packed with failure points, that might be the most valuable upgrade of all. And stick with me, because the SUV at number 1 is the kind of machine mechanics joke could run through a war zone and still make it home before dinner. Let's dive in, starting with number 9. At number 9, the 2013 to 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. You wouldn't expect the Santa Fe to show up on a bulletproof list, and that's part of what makes its story fascinating. This was the SUV that marked a turning point for Hyundai. It wasn't built on a flashy new platform. It didn't boast groundbreaking technology. Instead, it was built with a kind of humble durability that slowly won people over. The 3.3-liter V6 became its unsung hero. This engine avoided many of the oil consumption and bearing-related horror stories that plagued other Hyundai engines from later years. It was smooth, strong, and surprisingly resistant to major internal failures. Many owners report crossing 200,000 miles with nothing more than belt changes, spark plugs, and regular fluid service. But what really pushed the Santa Fe into bulletproof territory was its predictability. The transmission wasn't fragile. The electronics weren't finicky. Even the suspension, which is usually a weak point on mid-size crossovers, held up remarkably well. It became the SUV equivalent of a good pair of boots. Nothing fancy, but built well enough to last far longer than you'd expect. The Santa Fe also aged gracefully. Owners appreciated that unlike other SUVs from the same era, it didn't feel old at 100,000 miles. The interior held up. The ride stayed comfortable. Everything felt stable. But the next SUV on this list didn't just age well, it built a reputation people still defend fiercely. At number 8, the 2011 to 2017 Honda Pilot. The Honda Pilot has always been the responsible choice, but this generation in particular turned out to be exceptional. Powered by Honda's 3.5-liter V6, it delivered a rare blend of reliability, performance, and family-friendly practicality. It wasn't flashy, but that was the point. This SUV was engineered for the long haul. This generation Pilot is one of the most common vehicles to appear in mechanic stories about, "I've seen these with 350,000 miles, and the engine still sounds new." Honda's engineering during this era focused on overbuilding the basics. The cooling system was robust, the timing belt system was reliable, and the transmission, after some refinements, proved far more durable than early 2000s Honda units. What owners loved most was that the Pilot didn't get grumpy with age. The engine stayed smooth. The electronics didn't fry themselves. The suspension aged predictably. And the Pilot handled everything from kids to camping gear without developing squeaks, rattles, or electrical gremlins. The Pilot was the SUV you recommended to a friend when you didn't want to risk your reputation, because you knew it wouldn't come back to bite you later. But number 7 on this list? That one didn't just earn respect, it earned fear. The good kind. At number 7, the 2008 to 2020 Toyota Sequoia. The Toyota Sequoia is a legend wrapped in sheet metal. Powered by the 5.7-liter 3UR-FE V8, one of Toyota's greatest engines of all time, the Sequoia doesn't just last long, it refuses to stop. This engine is massively overbuilt. Forged crank, strong rods, a cooling system designed for towing in desert heat, and a transmission that treats shifting like a calm conversation rather than a panic attack. Mechanics say the only reason a Sequoia comes into the shop is because the owner showed up for routine maintenance or needed new tires. The Sequoia's body-on-frame construction also contributes to its longevity. Frames don't twist, components don't overstress, and the overall structure feels like it was designed to survive punishment. And here's what makes this really interesting. Toyota barely changed the platform for years. They didn't chase trends. They didn't downsize the engine. They didn't add turbo complexity. They stuck with what worked and perfected it. Before we move on to number 6, a quick reminder. If you want to avoid dealership traps, save thousands on ownership costs, and learn the tactics salespeople don't want you to know, grab my ebook Car Logic, the smart way to buy, own, and sell a car without getting taken for a ride. It's the playbook I wish every buyer had before stepping foot into a dealership. If you're interested, you'll find a link in the description box below. Now, let's get into the luxury tank hiding at number 6. At number 6, the Lexus GX 460. This is one of those SUVs that feels like it was built by engineers who were told, "Make it impossible to kill." The GX 460 blends Toyota's legendary durability with Lexus refinement, creating a vehicle that feels more like a mechanical monument than an everyday SUV. Its 4.6-liter V8 is a masterpiece of understressed engineering. It doesn't chase high horsepower numbers. It doesn't rely on turbochargers. It simply delivers smooth, consistent power year after year. It's the kind of engine that always feels relaxed, even when towing or climbing mountain grades. Owners routinely push these past 300,000 miles with minimal issues. And because the GX shares its platform with the Land Cruiser Prado, a vehicle used in remote regions around the world, parts availability and long-term durability are world-class. Even small things feel overbuilt. Door hinges, switchgear, interior materials. Everything is designed to resist time, weather, and heavy use. But what really sets the GX apart is the trust it inspires. GX owners don't list them for sale, they keep them. And that tells you more about reliability than any spec sheet ever could. But if the GX is overbuilt, number 5 is the definition of simple, reliable, efficient. At number 5, the 2010 to 2015 Toyota RAV4. This RAV4 wasn't trying to be rugged or luxurious. It was built for one purpose: to be a problem-free daily driver. And it succeeded so well that mechanics still call it one of the most cost-efficient SUVs of the decade. Powered by the 2.5-liter 2ARFE engine, the RAV4 delivered exceptional longevity. This engine is famously resistant to head gasket failures, oil consumption, and timing chain issues. Toyota designed it to run cool, run clean, and run forever with routine maintenance. The transmission? Equally reliable. No complicated dual-clutch technology, no fragile CVT, just a traditional automatic built to last. Owners routinely report these crossing 250,000 miles with little more than regular maintenance. And here's what makes the RAV4 legendary. It's cheap to repair when something goes wrong. Parts are abundant, labor times are short, and most repairs are straightforward. Mechanics often say this generation is the last of the truly simple RAV4s, the ones that prioritize durability over complexity. But the next SUV proves that luxury and reliability can coexist, if you build it right. At number 4, the 2010 to 2021 Lexus RX 350. The Lexus RX 350 is the definition of zero-stress ownership. Owners often report going 150,000 miles before even needing a major component replaced. It's that reliable. The heart of the RX is its 3.5-liter V6, an engine so dependable that Toyota has used variations of it across their lineup for nearly 2 decades. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't develop timing chain problems. It doesn't request attention. The RX also avoids many of the electrical nightmares seen in modern luxury SUVs. Lexus kept the electronics straightforward. The interior materials are over-engineered, and even after 10 years, the suspension and drivetrain feel composed. It's a luxury SUV that doesn't punish you for buying used, and that's rare. But the next SUV didn't win because it was luxurious. It won because it was unstoppable. At number 3, the Toyota Highlander, 2011 to 2019. The Highlander is one of the most universally trusted SUVs in America. It's the family workhorse that never quits. And that's largely thanks to its bulletproof V6 engine and simple, durable transmission. This SUV doesn't rely on fragile components. It doesn't push its engine to extremes. It's engineered to survive school runs, road trips, and heavy use without developing expensive issues. Families buy Highlanders because they don't want to think about repairs, and Toyota delivered exactly that. For nearly a decade, this generation became the default recommendation for anyone who wanted longevity without high costs. But the next SUV? That one is the poster child for reliability. At number 2, the Toyota 4Runner. The 4Runner is a relic, in the best possible way. In a world of turbocharged engines, CVTs, and complex electronics, the 4Runner proudly carries a naturally aspirated V6 and a 5-speed automatic that feels like it could survive a lifetime of abuse. This SUV isn't just reliable, it's predictable. The engine is understressed, the transmission is slow but nearly unbreakable. The body-on-frame design ensures durability on and off the road. Owners regularly push these past 300,000 miles with nothing but basic maintenance. And because the 4Runner's engineering philosophy hasn't changed much, it avoids the complexity that kills modern SUV reliability. But as durable as the 4Runner is, the SUV at number 1 makes everything else look fragile. At number 1, the Lexus LX, 2008 to 2021. This SUV is the final boss of reliability. Built on the Land Cruiser 200 series platform, the Lexus LX isn't just durable, it's legendary. The 5.7-liter V8 is one of the most reliable engines on the planet. The cooling system is overbuilt. The transmission is designed to handle extreme loads. And the body structure is so robust that these SUVs are used in remote regions where breaking down isn't an inconvenience. It's life-threatening. Owners talk about these hitting 400,000 miles with no drivetrain work. Everything about the LX feels engineered for survival, and that's why it sits confidently at number 1. If you want to protect yourself from overpriced deals and ownership mistakes, grab my eBook Car Logic. It's your roadmap to buying smarter and keeping more money in your pocket. And if you want more insights, check out the next video, 13 SUV models that dealers can't sell. Cars sitting 200+ days on lots. That one reveals the surprising models gathering dust on dealership lots. And why. I'll see you there.